don't want to release that now. If you do, you're basically giving a tip to the person we're seeking, and we do not want to give him an upper hand at all. Let him continue to believe he can hide behind a mask. We're going to, just as we revealed his face, we're going to reveal who he is, and we're going to bring him to justice.
The investigation already includes a significant amount of physical evidence. The bullet casings with the words deny, defend, depose inscribed, leading to speculation the motive is linked to the insurance industry. Late Friday, an extensive drone and foot search of Central Park located another key piece of evidence, the distinctive gray backpack worn by the killer as he executed UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The backpack is now at a crime lab for forensic testing, and police have not revealed what was inside, in particular, whether the murder weapon was inside, but the item which made the bag appear full was reportedly the hooded jacket worn by the killer. Meantime, with the reward now at $60,000, hundreds of tips are coming in about the suspect as police continue to search Central Park and pour through hundreds of hours of surveillance.
The manner in which they were able to follow his footsteps to recover evidence, some of it is known, some of it is unknown, but the net is tightening, and we're going to bring this person to justice.
Now, this bus terminal accommodates multiple lines, including Greyhound, and we have learned that all Greyhound buses are equipped with cameras. So it's likely investigators know where the suspect was headed, as Mayor Adams alluded to. Police and the FBI may be closing in. Natasha?
Yeah, we shall see. Nancy Liu in New York City tonight. Thank you. And let's bring in NewsNation national security contributor, former FBI special agent and CIA officer Tracy Walder. Tracy, always good to see you. Thanks for making the time.
Thank you for having me, Natasha.
So we're looking at these details. Authorities now have the burner phone, the water bottle he may have dropped. They are testing for DNA on that backpack. What is standing out to you at this point in the investigation and the manhunt?
So I know people may come for me for this, but I'm actually not convinced that the backpack will yield a whole lot as well as DNA. Part of the issue with that is once they have the DNA, it actually becomes very time consuming to process for a couple reasons. The first issue is that the state of New York, unless you have actually been convicted of a crime, your DNA is not going to be in the system. So that is going to be problematic. They can start doing familiar or genealogical DNA, which is how they found Brian Koberger, but that process can take, 3 weeks to a month as well. And so I'm actually not convinced that DNA is how they are going to catch this individual. I think it's going to be through the video canvassing as well as possibly his phone.
Yeah, it looks like police have deployed a dive team in the fountains in Central Park. What would they be searching for?
I believe if they've deployed a dive team, they are most likely looking for the murder weapon. That would be the most likely place that he would have really tossed that aside, typically because obviously water is difficult to find things in, and it would wipe off any fingerprints. If you noticed in the video that they have of him killing Mr. Thompson, he does not have gloves on. And so this is an individual that, in my opinion, knew he was going to be able to throw away that weapon and not have fingerprints on it.
Let's talk about the level of expertise and planning here. I mean, according to Thompson's wife, the CEO had been getting threats. Does this look like a professional hit job to you or an amateur with a grudge?
I think both, Natasha. I'm sorry to sound ambiguous about that. I think the first thing is, a lot of people were talking about how this individual was some kind of highly trained assassin and this is what this person did for a living. I don't think that. I think if that was the case, this individual would have hit Mr. Thompson initially. He really wasn't that far from center mass and he missed that first shot. And so that tells me that this is someone that has clearly trained with a weapon, but is not some kind of highly trained assassin. However, to write that on the bullet casings, to be in New York City 10 days before Mr. Thompson was there, to know what hotel he was going to be at, this really did take a high level of planning.
What do you think the motive may have been here?
My gut says it has to do with insurance. So it has to do with a lack of coverage, a lack of providing being done by the insurance company. Maybe someone close to this individual was denied services and was denied life-saving coverage. Maybe this individual was, I don't know. But I do think that it had to do with denial of coverage.
Tracy Walder, appreciate you as always. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.